Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to this Saturday training on getting the butts out of the way. In other words, how to get yourself into action right now so that you can take 2025 or whatever year this may be and make it the best one ever. All right. And we're doing this in the very beginning of the year. But if you just joined Sealy and you're listening to this at a later point, it doesn't matter because the principles we're going to talk about here apply to all of us all the time, at anything we want to do, whether it is Sealy, it's your Sealy by Design business or some other area in your life. It is really, really important to have a direction, a vision in your mind, where you want to go, and so that you can take action steps that are going to help you achieve that. All right. And that's what we're kind of going to be talking a little bit about today. If you're not familiar, my name is Guy Berlando, C7 here with Sealy by Design. I've been here from the very beginning. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, we have months where our company or our business is just doing wonderful, or like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And then you have other months and you're like, what's going on? Right. And the business tends to taper off. But here's the thing, as long as you have those goals, that vision of where you want to go, then nothing's going to stop you. And we're going to talk a little bit about those philosophies as we move along as well. So let me jump into the slides. I'm going to go through this and give you a little bit of the overview. We'll talk about all this stuff. I'll give you a recap, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do. Let me see if I can figure out how to get these chats working because we've been having an issue not being able to, people not being able to chat. Donnie, if you would for me real quick, see if you can do a chat. And if you can't, send me a text and let me know it's still not working. I had meant to get that all fixed before we started on this. And let's see, everyone. I think I found it. All right. So you can try that again, or somebody else can. Just welcome everybody on. Um, Glad to have you all here. All right, I see it's working. Yay, good deal. All right, so let me get into the slides and we'll be on our way. This is some of the things we're going to talk about right here. The overview, goals are important. They certainly are. Why are they important? Plan, do, check, and adjust. A mentor of mine many years ago gave me this simple philosophy. You plan your work, you do your work, you check your work, and then you adjust. And that is something we're doing with goals all the time. There's different action steps you can take. Whatever you want to do is fine. I'm going to give you some that we express for our teams, that we have available for our teams to when they're bringing on new team members. A lot of people just don't know what to do, right? And they don't know how to get their business rocking and rolling. And so these daily, weekly, and monthly actions, I'm not sure if I got the monthly in there, but the daily and weekly for sure are really important. And then also how to manage expectations. Sometimes we set these goals and we set these big audacious goals like I'm going to make $100,000 in the next 6 months, and then you're making 500 and you're going, well, this doesn't work. Y'all have to realize that we all start in this business and in this industry, which is different from anything else, at different levels. So we're going to talk about this as well. Never compare yourself to somebody else. You are in this for yourself. You're obviously not by yourself, but you're in this for yourself. We cannot, no one, no matter how much support you get, can do this business for you. It's all going to be created in your mind first. And that's what this is really focusing in on. All right. So why set goals? This is from a website, a psychology website, and I just grabbed some of these points in here, and I thought they were pretty good. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but some people don't set goals, and it's well documented that those that do tend to achieve greater success than those that do not have written down goals. So goals direct our energies and focus toward performing actions skillfully, improving our techniques, enhance our performance across various tasks. They improve focus and persistence. They help us stay focused for longer, recognizing and emphasizing our personal need for self-improvement. And this is huge key to this business as well. A lot of people I don't want to generalize. There's a number of people that will come into this business that have never read a book in their life, that have never ever heard of personal growth. That was me. All right. Both of those things. I had never read a book outside of college, and I had never heard of this genre of personal help or personal growth or self-help. When I came into this industry, I was introduced to it, and it literally changed my life. So don't overlook this part of it when you're bringing on new team members as well as for yourself. We're going to talk about a little bit that more as we move along. More intrinsic motivation. All right. It helps with the autonomy and self-determination. Again, this is all about your mindset, what you're looking for, what you want to achieve. Heightens task enjoyment. All right. Especially when you have a realistic goal and you accomplish that and you go, wow, I did it. I set out for it and I did it. And what do I mean by realistic goal? Like it's you say, well, this business is all built on exposures. How many exposures can I get this week? And you write down, well, I'm going to get 100 exposures this week. And you get 20. Well, you fell short of your goal, right? By 80%, but you got 20 new contacts. So, or 20 new exposures. So that is actually a very good thing for your business. So when you're setting out for making these goals, you want to realize your expectations for these. Don't just say you're because it's a want or a wish that you can make 100 contacts when you know you're probably not going to be able to do that. If you know making five would be very easy for you, well, then stretch it, make it 10. But that it's manageable, right? Instead of doing one a day, you do two a day. So goals are meant to be accomplished. All right. They're not just wants and wishes and dreams or desires. They're to be set out for something that you can actually accomplish, but it shouldn't be the easy street. It should also be a way of stretching that personal growth, your personal learning along the way. Higher satisfaction improves ethical behavior. I like that one. It increases cooperative behavior, working together as a team. If you're doing this for yourself, then you can encourage your team members and lead by example as well. Better well being and wellness, greater effort. Because you are stretching yourself, right? So if you set a goal, a realistic goal that you really want to accomplish, I mean, it's from the heart, it's from the desire, it's from the inside, then you're going to apply greater effort in that action, those action steps. It's got a positive psychological effects, improved emotional regulation, and enhances self-esteem. Now, the reverse can be true. If you got these super audacious goals and you never achieve them, you could have it could have the result, the opposite result, I mean. And I've experienced this many times where I've set goals for myself, I don't achieve them, and it kind of puts me into a sad state or a saddened state. And this is really, when we're talking about goals, this is really important to understand. Remember, these are targets that we want to hit. If we don't, remember, plan, do, check, and adjust. Now we adjust those goals. And one of the sayings from one of my other mentors outside of network marketing is there is no failure, there's only feedback. There's just feedback. And that's what it's telling you. Again, if you don't have written down goals, how are you getting feedback on how you're approaching your and accomplishing your business? You know, it's very easy to just sit back. I'm going to stop the screen share for a second. It's very easy to just sit back and go, okay, I'm going to be a C6 by June of 2025. Fantastic goal. And then January goes by and February goes by. Well, I still got 3 months to make that happen or 4 months to make that happen. But here's the thing, if you don't have written down goals or written down plan action steps along the way, how do you know? How do you evaluate your productivity in actually building your business? And then what do people say? Oh, this doesn't work. No, you didn't work. You didn't put in the work to get the business to work. All right. So be very mindful of that. And that's why we're doing this training to help everybody understand how to set goals, to make them realistic, but also stretching yourself. All right. There's different ways to do this. One of the ways that I like, it's worked very well for me throughout my life in various aspects, is the first thing I do is I look, where do I want to be 5 years from now? And you know how you do that? You look back 5 years ago. So in 2020, All right. When 2020 rolled around, right? Big, 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 big New Year's day that was, right? So 2020, in 2020, are you now where you thought you would be from 2020? When you look backwards 5 years, did you do everything you thought you would do? Are you in the financial situation that you thought you would be in? Various and on and on and on. So when you look back 5 years, you go, whoa, I didn't quite get to where I wanted to be. Well, maybe you have, and that's fantastic. But chances are we've fallen short in some of those dreams and aspirations. So, and if you never thought about this before, which is what this is really targeting, then this is something to think about. Where do you want to be in the year 2030? Oh my God, it almost sounds scary to say that, doesn't it? But where do you want to be in 2030? Where do you want to be with your financial goals? Where do you want to be with your relationship goals, with your family goals, with seeing the world, or some of those other dreams that you may have that you've been wanting to do, but you know what? I'll get to it next year, or I'll get to it next week, whatever it might be. So start with a 5 year plan. Where do you want to be in 2030? All right. Then work that backwards to get to 2030, where I want to be. Then what do I need to be? Where do I need to be in 3 years? And you can back that down to where do I want to be next year? When the calendar clicks over to 2026, what's going to build that self esteem, that self, all those positive things from why to set goals in a year from now, where do you want to be? And then let's back that off to 6 months and then 3 months, 2 months, all the way down. All right. To tomorrow, what you're going to do tomorrow to get into action to build your business. All right. Now, like I was saying, and I think this is a very big part that a lot of people don't talk enough about, is to make them manageable. These are your goals. They're not your upline's goals. They're not your other fellow team member goals. They're not your parents or your spouse's goals. They're not your kids' goals. These are yours. You own them. And this is one of the reasons why you want to write them down or as well. The name of the game is in this industry of network marketing, where we're talking about network marketing now, is exposures. Bottom line, if nobody knows about your business or only a few people know about your business at best is going to grow by a little bit. If you've got big expectations for yourself throughout the next year, you definitely got to have more exposures to be able to grow your business bigger. If you've got audacious goals, you need a lot more exposures in order to build a larger business. Now, the funny thing about this business is momentum. So let's say you get into massive action right off the bat and you brand new into this business or you've been here for a while. It doesn't matter. You set a goal. I'm going to make 100 contacts and I'm going to have my own VGO. I'm going to have my upline do it or I'm going to do it for myself. You make that commitment. You get 100 people on that VGO and you get 20 people started, guess what? You now have 20 more VGOs that you can do. So the massive exposures, initially, it's got to come from you. You're the leader of your business. But once you start building this thing, it's going to come from the other team members because you're going to help them grow. You're going to teach them what to do. Now, if you take the other side of that coin or the other end of that spectrum, and you only invite two or three people to see a Sunday night webinar or a VGO, and you only get three or four people on there, you can see the difference. All right. So now you got maybe one person that joins your business, and now you're kind of after them to, hey, you got to do a VGO. You have to do this. You have to do that because in your mind, I need exposures because that's your goal. It might not be theirs, and you could push them right out of the business. But when you bring on, say, 20 people in a week or 2 weeks or a month, you got a lot more flavor to work with. You got a lot more different personalities, a lot more different backgrounds. You got a lot more different influencers and the like to be able to get those exposures going. But from personal experience and those of others that have been very successful here, there's no doubt that the more exposures that you personally are able to get going, the faster your business will grow. And then you got to decide what is that, especially on a weekly basis. Just because you get those 20 started or 10 people started and they start building, that doesn't mean you give up getting exposures yourself. It's an ongoing process. And one of the things that uh, is very common in this industry is somebody will start to notice and feel some success. They'll make a few $1,000s, maybe more, and they get into what we call management mode. And they just kind of put it more on autopilot. They stop doing the things that got them to where they were. And you can never do that in this business. I mean, we talk about the residual income and the passive income, and yes, it's very true. But if you just give this business up or you just start telling people what to do and you're no longer leading from the front, your business may falter. And that is just a part of what this is. And that's why we say give this 3 to 5 years. It's not a get rich quick type of adventure. This is a business, and you want to build a solid foundation in your business. And if you continue to do this with massive exposures, however you're getting them, so you're bringing on people on a weekly basis, and your sign up report is going upwards, not leveling or going downwards, then you know your business is working for you. All right. So, how do you create these exposures? You got to talk to people. I know a lot of people don't want to talk to people, or you feel like you've already exposed this to everybody that you know. Well, then go out and make new friends. Do trade shows. Do find events that are going on, meetups that are going on in your area and the like. All right. There's many ways to find ways to talk to people. That's not what the primary training is here today. All right. So daily activity is a key. So we talk about daily method of operations and DMOs. And so these are some of them, and this is not an all-encompassing list by any stretch of the imagination. And you can take and use some of these. You can use none of them. You can create your own. It doesn't matter. What does matter is that you are finding a way to touch your business with an income producing activity, which we'll cover here a little bit later as well, to grow your business, to expand your business. In other words, a non-income producing activity is going back and checking the our let's see, learning more about your back office. I'll just keep it simple. All right. Oh, what does this do? What does that do? That's a non-income producing activity. Now it's important to understand the back office and how it all works. That's great. And that's a training in itself. But that is not going to grow your business per se. Exposures are what's going to grow your business. So figure out for yourself what's manageable for you to be able to do on a daily basis to be able to get those exposures. One of those we talk about is business posts on Facebook. There's multiple ways to do this on Facebook or social media as well. Some people will just focus on the product. You'll see that a lot, and that's fine. Just don't make any medical claims. Some people will focus just on the business aspect to attract business minded people, which tend to duplicate faster, which tend to grow your business faster. The only thing is don't make an income claim, all right? You can't say X amount or this person made this amount of money, you're going to make it too, or you can make this amount of money if you join our business. That is not allowed, all right? You can talk about the possibilities, you can explain what some people have done, but always throw in, I'm not making an income claim as you do that. How many are you going to do a day? Remember, Facebook constantly, and I would imagine the others are doing it as well. They change their algorithms all the time. So it's really important to kind of understand what's going on. Sometimes you need to be making comments on other people's posts in order to get your posts out. Sometimes you need to be making like 3 posts a day in order to get your posts out. And then they'll change the algorithm again. But the consistency is important. So that's why I would say a minimum of 1 to 3 Facebook posts about your business per day. Some people will just focus on their business on their Facebook. I've seen other top network marketers that never mention their network marketing business at all on Facebook. So again, and then if you've seen mine, I do a little bit of everything. And it's probably not the most efficient, but it's what resonates with me. And that's the reason why I do that way. Again, it's based on you, your goals, what you want to achieve, especially here when we're talking about Sealy by Design. 3 to 10 touches a day. How do you get that? All right. And your number is your number, but figure out a number and then stick to it. It's one thing to throw out, I'm going to make 10 touches a day. It's another thing to actually do it. And what we're talking about, new contacts, all right? 10 touches means, or 3 touches a day means you friended somebody and you got a conversation going on Facebook. And remember, you don't spam people. And again, it's a whole nother training. But you want to make new contacts on Facebook. Clear out your friends list. If you're already at 5,000, I encourage everybody to be at 5,000. If you're already at 5,000, clear out that friends list at least once a month so you can be adding new people to it. It's so important. Talking to people at the grocery store. Practice that 3 foot rule. Get better and better at that. Follow up with people that you already have in process. Interact with your team on a daily basis as well. These are all things that are going to help your business grow on a daily basis. This is what I mean about do something for your business every single day. Touch your business every single day. Okay, so here we go. All right. Get the butts out of the way. That's what kind of spurred on this whole training. I want to thank Danya for it as well. But yeah, but okay, I'm going to do 5 touches today. Yeah, but my car broke down. I had a flat tire. I was late for my doctor's appointment. Oh my God, this happened. I just got a fraud alert, which was what just happened to me this morning. Things are going to happen, right? It's a part of life. Now you got to decide what's most important to you. That's why we have the 5 year goal. Yeah, if I don't do my business today, is that going to affect my 5 year goal? Probably not. But what kind of habit pattern am I setting it up? 3 days goes by. Ooh, a week goes by, a month goes by, and I haven't really touched my business. I haven't really been doing what I've been doing, should be doing, what I know I should be doing. Here's the thing. There's being at cause where you take on full responsibility, everything to do with your business. And then there's being in effect, where you start blaming outside reasons and excuses for why your business isn't building. The company's not doing this. My team's not working. I mean, that's probably the one that I hear the most. My team members aren't doing anything, so this isn't working, so I'm going to quit. Well, there's a lot of different areas we could go. That's a whole nother rabbit hole in itself, right? Why isn't the team doing anything? Maybe you just need new team members. Maybe you haven't found the right people yet. That's why that constant exposures is so important. Can you see how all this is lumped together in one full story? All right. So the car broke down. I got the flat tire. I got the fraud alert. I was late for the doctor appointment. This happened, that happened. The kid's sick with the flu. Doesn't matter. Your business is your business. And if you had made a commitment to getting those 5 touches a day, you're going to get those 5 touches a day or whatever that number is. All those things that you have on a daily method of operation, that's why we want to make it manageable. All right. So that you don't get down on yourself. You certainly don't want to get down on your business and you want to be doing things that are going to uplift you. If you committed to those 5 touches and you had all those external circumstances happen that day, but then you still got your 5 touches, how would that feel? Now you're building your self-esteem, you're building your self-worth, you're proving to yourself that you can do this. I could go on and on about that one line in itself. Do you find yourself saying, but success? This is from Think and Grow Rich. So my team knows that every year around this time, I read Think and Grow Rich. This is my 25th year of doing so or so. Um, and why? Because I analyzed how my goals went for last year and I reset my new goals for the new year. And this is out right from the beginning, near the beginning of the book. Success comes to those who become success conscious. The mindset, right? We can't do this business for you. We certainly can't set your mindset for you. I don't care if I'm a 7, 10, 12-figure earner in network marketing. I cannot change your mindset. That is up to you. I can guide you. I can give you things like this to be able for you to help you, but I cannot do it for you. And here's the sad part is the next sentence. Failure comes to those who indifferently allow themselves to become failure conscious. Oh, this doesn't work. Oh, my Aunt Nancy told me that this would never work. And now she's right. Oh my God, she was right. I was wrong. No. Again, that's going into effect rather than being a cause. Being a cause is going, okay, my business isn't where I want it to be. Why? You can go now by having daily method of operations. You can go back. Hey, was I really doing this? How did I do this week on my day-to-day operations for my business? And be honest with yourself. And if you didn't hit your daily method of operations, well, then great. That's the feedback. Okay, great. Now I can start the next week knowing that if I hit my daily method of operations, I'm going to have more success, or the possibility of success goes up. And then what if, well, I did do these daily methods of operations, my business didn't grow. Well, maybe you just didn't talk to the right people, or maybe we need to adjust those daily method of operations to something that's going to help grow your business. All right. But it all comes back to being a cause. Success comes to those who are become success conscious. Don't compare yourself to others. This is so important, and we all tend to do it. I'll do it. All right. I've been here longer than anybody, and I'm not the top income earner in this company. All right. So, yeah, we all do it. We all many times wish we were in different places than we were, but then we've got to be honest with ourselves again. Remember, these are your goals. They're not Sarah Smuzz's. They're not Daniel's. They're not Guy Berlando's. They're your goals and where you want to accomplish in the next month, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years down the road. And it begins with your state of mind. We've already covered that. Building on that, and this whole concept of personal growth, and why is personal growth so important? You can only go as far as your knowledge, wisdom, growth will take you. In other words, if I want to bring in somebody that earns $10,000 a month at another network marketing company, I can do that because I've accomplished that. I understand what it took to make that happen. If I want to attract somebody that's made $100,000 in Sealy on a monthly basis, I haven't done that. But Daniel has, Sarah has, other people have. So they're able to attract and they're able to take people to that next level, right? So the point of this is if we don't grow ourselves, it becomes more difficult to attract the winners that you're looking for, the influencers that you're looking for in your business. And Think and Grow Rich and many other books and mentors and teachers in this industry of network marketing are going to talk about the importance of personal growth, staying in the game, staying at cause rather than looking for the reasons or the excuses why this isn't working. And personal growth helps keep you on track. And what this is going to link to is our boards page for our team. And again, anybody that would like this, just let me know, reach out to me or your upline. We'll get you the link. I open this up to everybody, but one of the tabs on there is personal growth. There's well over 50 of these in here right now. Every one of these is going to help with that mindset. Help if you are having a bad day, bring you back at cause, going, okay, what do I need to do? Help you come back and reevaluate those DMOs, all right, and your income producing activities. So there's over 50 here. That's almost 2 months, and there will be 60 in here not too long. That'll be 2 months worth. If you listen to one of these a day, I challenge you, challenge yourself to listen to one of these a day. And if you feel that it hasn't helped you in some way, I will be absolutely amazed because they will. And they help you stay in the game. These are varied. You'll see some. I'll get onto a roll like listening to Neville Goddard in a row, and so I'll start posting a bunch of Neville Goddard. Sometimes it's going to be like here, Alan Watts, because I really like Alan Watts as well. Sometimes it'll be Jim Rohn, but all of these are valuable. So how do I get out of that? Hold on. There we go. Okay, so that's that. Activities make the difference. Contacting, inviting, 3-foot rules, another way to get your touches every day, right? Again, whole nother separate training. Sampling these sample packs. If you're not aware, these are going away. If you haven't ordered like 100 or so of these to have them, after they're gone, you still have access to them. I encourage you to do that right after this training, or 20 or 50, whatever it is that you want to have. But I would definitely get some because they are going away. But sampling out these are fantastic. And then if you give them out in person, make sure you drop them into your Hustle app so they still get into the drip campaign, the email drip campaign, and then follow up with these people. Online info packs, if you don't already have one created for yourself, a generic email that you can quickly send out to somebody, I encourage you to do that. We've had trainings on that before as well. Um, I think I have an example on my boards as well for that. Doing webinars, tapping people into webinars, doing your own webinars. We talked on our team call this past week about, hey, Zoom gives you 40 minutes. There's no excuse for you not sharing this plan at least once a week to yourself. At least you are learning it, because it's a lot different when you do it. So, but then maybe you'll get frustrated enough that you're doing it to yourself all the time. You'll actually invite somebody to come watch it with you. And maybe it starts with a family member or a dear friend, but at least you're doing it and you're getting into the action of doing something. But when it comes to income producing activities, yes, you want to be inviting to webinars, getting your team onto training such as this. All right. Sending out recorded webinars, getting people on the Sealy Lifestyle, or Sealy Works, or testimonial pages. On Telegram, we have the personal or human being testimonies, and we also have the pet testimonies on Telegram. If you're not a part of those, make sure you get a part of those. All right. Facebook, Instagram, lives, reels, stories. Lives were a really big thing a while back. I don't know if they still pull like they used to, but that's why not. Reels are great because they get outside of your friends list and then other people can see them. So reels are really, or have been, powerful. I don't know what the latest and greatest is going on out there with social media, but I know that reels is still a very powerful way to do that. And then you also have your Facebook stories, Instagram stories to be able to do that. So again, you're looking for ways to be able to get exposures. Uh, First of all, it starts with, probably should have had before all of this, is going through your own contact list, right? Going through your phone list. I mean, it's very easy to open up the phone, scroll, go to your contacts on an iPhone. You just go all the way down to the bottom. It's going to tell you how many contacts you have. You can import all those contacts into your Hustle app and mark them hot and cold. All right. And then make sure you've called all those people. And if you haven't, do so. We've got other trainings on how to contact and invite. Plug into the calls, the trainings and webinars. Again, this is about you. I know this webinar, the way we do it, inside and out. I don't need to do it anymore to learn it. All right. I've already learned it. But every time I do it, I do learn something, because every time I do it a little bit differently. And why do I do it? Because it's not just for helping build your businesses, it's also for me. It helps keep me in the game on a regular basis. It's one of the ways that I touch my business on Sundays, right? So, what is it for you that's going to help you stay in the game? And one of the easiest ways is to be on the calls. One of our early on mentors in network marketing was like, well, you need to be on the call. You need to be on the call. Well, how long do I need to be on these calls for? And her answer was, until you want to. And when you get to that point where it's no longer, I have to be on this call, but I want to be on this call, I'm going to be on this call, that's when you know you're serious about your business. It's very easy to skip a call and then to skip a call again, because I did it once before. Oh, nothing really big happened by missing that one call. I can miss it again. Are you being honest and truthful to your goals and where you want to take your business? Probably not. You're going back into effect, finding reasons that are more valuable to you than the call. Oh, Brad, he talks a long time. He gets on his rants or whatever it might be. I don't need to listen to that, especially maybe for some of you on the founders call. I've heard that from you. Well, what are you missing by not paying attention to what Brad has to say when he goes on one of his rants? He's not doing it to berate people. He's doing it to help you, to uncover something that maybe you're looking over, you're not seeing. That's what coaches do. That's what mentors do. If you knew everything and you had the big broad view, then you probably wouldn't need a coach or mentor, but nobody is that person. All right. We all need it unless you're an Elon Musk or something like that. Right. But for us in this industry, We have blinders. We don't see ourselves necessarily as we in an honest fashion. That's why the DMOs are so important to be able to evaluate how you're doing. But a person that has a coach or mentor that has been at a higher level, that is plugged into doing personal growth, is going to be have a more likely opportunity to point something out to you that you may be missing. And this also goes into one of the things that I tell every new person that I start out, and very rarely do I ever have anyone taking me up on it, is to call me every single day for the first 30 days that you're in this business. One, it's going to build the habit. It's also going to make you accountable. It's also going to be able to help us adjust, plan, do, check, and adjust what you're doing, saying, or your activity level. A lot of people won't do it. Why? Because they're not willing to be honest with themselves. They'll find an excuse, put themselves into effect. And when you're in effect, you cannot solve problems and your business is not going to grow. You want to shift that into a cause. And being accountable and having an accountability partner is all part of this. VGOs, plugging into VGOs, virtual grand openings is a great way to build your business. Share the plan yourself, doing three-way calls. If you're brand new, then we have upline or your support team to be able to help do that with you. And the 8 question close, that's also on our boards. I would learn that, at least the flow of it and how to get a person, help them understand, get them out of their own way when you have the answer for them, whether it's just about the product or if it's about the business. You have an answer for their challenge that they're going on right now. Look, nobody in network marketing right now has a more powerful comp plan than we do, and especially in a binary format, in a product orientated company. I will put our comp plan up to anybody's, and I have, and nobody's been able to prove me wrong yet. People may not like our comp plan, but that's fine. But they can't say that our comp plan doesn't pay. All right. We have people making $1 million here in 2 to 3 years. That's paying. How did they make that happen? They got into action, they got the exposures, and they helped their people grow. So, this powerful comp plan is amazing. We've got an answer for everybody. We've got a product that nobody else in the world has, especially when you're talking about this ageless, but both of these. And it's just a matter of being able to help a person understand why this can actually help them. So, just I can't say enough about it. The only reason why we're not closing more people is because of we don't know how to. And that's why the 8 question close is going to help you guide you through that process. This is right out of Think and Grow Rich. This is out of mine. Every year I use a different color or a different color highlighter, whatever, to note that this is what I learned this year in reading this book. This year I'm doing it in purple. So I've already got a whole bunch of new underlines and circles that I didn't have from all those years past. So I encourage, even if you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, or you have rather, read it again. I do it on an annual basis. Oftentimes I'll listen to it on an audio version during the year as well. But look at this. Thoughts are things. Before success comes in any man's life, he is sure to meet with temporary defeat and perhaps some failure. When defeat overtakes a man, the easiest and most logical thing to do is to quit. Who are they quitting on when they quit? Who are they quitting on when they quit? Themselves. It's not the company, it's not the business, it's not the product, it's not the comp plan, it's themselves. They did not get themselves into action and stay in action long enough to overcome these defeats. That is exactly what the majority of men do. More than 500 of the most successful men in the community in the country has ever known told this author their greatest success came just one step beyond the point at which defeat had overtaken them. Have you experienced this yet in your business? You bring someone on, they're all fired up, they're doing great, and then something happens and it takes them out of their business for a day or a week or a month. And the next thing you know, they're just gone and you never hear from them again. And they were so close to just breaking this thing wide open. You could see it. but they couldn't because they went from at cause to in effect, and they took themselves out of the business with excuses and reasons. This is why plugging into the calls, having an accountability partner or a coach or mentor, and being a part of this business in multiple ways is so, so critically important. Failure is a trickster with a keen sense of irony and cunning. It takes great delight in tripping one with success is almost within reach. And then this is probably the most taught out of Think and Grow Rich, and that is your definitive purpose. Many of you may or may not know, but I was lost after I got out of the military. I had a purpose while I was in the military. I got out of the military. I felt like I no longer had a purpose in life, and I got lost. And I didn't realize this consciously. This was all going on subconsciously. And then that's when I came across Nirka, and she changed my life. I write this best-selling book over here, and I get back into network marketing. And I'm so glad that all that happened the way that it did. But one of the things that led me to that realization was my annual reading of Think and Grow Rich. And all of a sudden it hit me like a ton of bricks. I don't know what my definitive purpose in life is. And your definitive purpose in life may not be silly by design, but what can it lead you to? Um, every day, every morning, and my wife can attest to this, I've got now about 4 journals full of my manifestation that or what I'm trying to manifest is my overall vision for our life with Sealy. And I've got other ones, for overall life, but I got one for Sealy. And one of those is basically, I'm just going to surmise it, is to uplift others so that they can achieve their specific purpose in life. They can discover their specific purpose in life. Because one of the beauties of network marketing, it's way more than just making money. It's the connections. Zeph Martin connected me with this podcaster. She stated that her podcast is the number one podcast for network marketing out there in the country. And Zeph Martin, he's out mingling with other people at an event, at a networking event. He comes across her. She's all excited because of the product because she has never seen anything like this before. And so we had a neat conversation, a very uplifting and valuable conversation yesterday. And one of the things that her and I were in agreement with is the networking, the people that you get to meet along the way. The other thing that happens is if you are plugging into your personal growth, other things are going to start coming out from within you to help you realize what do you want to accomplish in your lifetime. We only get one life at it. We're already 4 days into 2025. Those 4 days or 3 days that have passed, you can never get back. So when you think about these goals, 5 years down the road, 3 years down the road, 1 year down the road, 6 months down the road, you don't want to wait for that to come to you. You want to attack it head on. And by having a definitive purpose around Sealy specific is going to be very, very important. So, and that keeps you in the game as well, along with everything else that we talked about. The method by which desire for riches can be transmitted into its financial equivalent consists of 6 definitive practical steps. And as I said, a lot of coaches and mentors are out there will teach you these steps, but you can do it on your own as well. And when you write out this, and he goes later in the book, actually, how to write this out into a definitive statement, you now have it. And let's just go through them. The first thing is to fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. It's not like, and here's another interesting factoid. Every time I get somebody started, I'm going to ask them something along these lines. What amount of money coming into your life right now would it make a big difference in your life, right? So if you had an extra X amount of money, this would really help me out in my life. I will tell you from experience, having done this for a long time, 99.9% of the people cannot give me a number right off the top of their head. Why? Because they haven't thought about it. Well, if you haven't thought about it, it's not written down and it's not a goal, what's going to make it happen? If you don't have a daily method of operation to get you there, What's going to make it happen? Now it's just a wish. All right. Now, some people will be able to, with a little bit of coaxing, come up with a number. All right. But I very rarely, I mean, extreme cases, do I ask that question and somebody has an immediate response. And that tells me a lot about how much they've applied, how many times they've read Think and Grow Rich, how many times they've applied their definitive purpose. Are they writing it out on a daily basis? And it's obvious, right? Because if you're writing this out on a daily basis, if you were to ask me what that number is, bam, I got an answer like that. Okay. I have it for my team members. I have team goals where I see them getting to. You got to have that number and it's got to be hard fact and in the front part of your brain as well as a deep subconscious. And that's what the writing out does every day as well. What are you going to give in return? It's not just about taking, all right? What kind of a mentor, what kind of a coach, what kind of a support are you going to be for your team? What are you going to do for the company? What are you going to do for other leaders that aren't part of your team? How are you going to support them? What are you going to do? How are you going to give back when you get all this money or as you're getting this money? Again, Napoleon Hill is going to go into a lot more detail on all that. Establish a definite date. Otherwise, it's just a wish, it's a want. You intend to possess the money. Vision it in your mind as if it's happening right now. So it's $10,000 on a monthly basis or $5,000 on a monthly basis with your Sealy business. Envision that money coming in through your pay quicker. Envision what you will do with that money and spend some time doing that. Don't just think about it like real quick. No, oh, great. It'd be nice to have $5,000. I'd be able to pay off this bill, that bill. I go out and buy myself that. No, this is coming in on a monthly basis, maybe, and you have that possessing that income on a monthly basis. What's it going to feel like? Can you imagine your savings growing over a period of time? You know, a lot of people, their savings is very little. We should have a minimum in savings to live on for 3 months, right? So all other income stops. You have at least 3 months in your savings to be able to pay for all the bills, your house, your car, whatnot, your food. Most people do not have that. So can you imagine? Can you see that in your mind, having that kind of number in the bank account or your savings account, whatever that number may be, and create a definite plan? You start out with that. In my way of doing it, I start out with that 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, 6 months, working it backwards due to my down to my daily method of operations. Those are my goals. So that becomes my weekly goal. And at the end of the week, did I do what I said I was going to do? If I didn't, it's not failure, it's just feedback. All right. And then begin it once, whether you're ready to or not. Really important. That's a success mindset. All right. A successful person is going to do whatever it takes, whenever it takes to make it happen. A failure mindset is going to go into effect and find reasons why I can't do this today and I can't make up for it tomorrow. All right. Write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to make or to have in possession. All right. Again, when he goes into that statement of actually how to write this out, he does a great job. He goes into great detail on that as well. And then the last of the six is to read your statement aloud twice daily. First thing in the morning, last thing before retiring at night, because that is when the alpha waves start to show up. That's where you have more connection into the subconscious mind to start getting this in at a deeper level. Here's another one. A burning desire to be and do is the starting point from which the dreamer must take off. Dreams are not born of indifference, laziness, or lack of ambition. And I will also throw in there emotion. They have to be filled with emotion. If it doesn't drive you, if it doesn't move you, if it doesn't make you cry, it's not fulfilling this. Remember, that all who succeed in life get off to a bad start and pass through many heartbreaking struggles before they arrive. The turning point in the lives of those who succeed usually come at the moment of some crisis through which they are introduced to their other selves. Am I going to push through this? Am I going to drive through this? Or am I going to allow this to take me out of the business? Am I going to allow this to give up on my dreams, my goals, my desires of where I wish to be in 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, 6 months from now. And that is only something that you can handle. But if you're not aware of these things, most of this is not happening consciously. Most of this is all happening subconsciously. And that's why that personal growth is so important as well. And this is all about getting the butts out of the way. And that is basically keeping yourself at cause rather than allowing yourself to go into effect, into the reasons. All right. Being comfortable. Most people are very comfortable being miserable. Their life sucks, but they're not willing to do what it takes. And what does it take? It doesn't take much. It takes doing something a little bit every day for your business to stay in the game long enough for the big audacious things to happen. So, for as far as a quick recap, setting goals is important for multiple reasons. Make them manageable, make them realistic. Don't set out something that is totally, I mean, yes, you want to get to maybe $50,000 a month, but if the most you've ever made in a month is 5,000, that's a big stretch, right? And you come here brand new to network marketing, you don't know anything about network marketing, that's a humongous stretch, all right? So if the most you've ever made in a month is $5,000, why not make $500 your goal in network marketing within the first 3 months? If you exceed that, great. Now we plan, do, check, and adjust. We adjust the goal. Man, this thing's really working. What if I make it $1,000 the next month or over the next 3 months? I can't emphasize it enough. Personal growth is powerful to keep yourself in the game. Have a coach, trainer, and mentor to help you along the way. So what I'd like to do now is bring this down, and I'm going to bring it open it up for if anybody does have a question, they can raise their hand. And I should be able to unmute them, and feel free to do so. And it can be primarily about what we just trained on. If you have something that you personally have experienced, hello, Stephen. If you have personally experienced in goal setting that has worked for you and you would like to share that as well, well, yeah, feel free to do so. All right, Stephen, you can unmute yourself and go ahead.
Thank you, Guy. I'm really glad to be here. I do have a question, and it is with respect to certainly training. We've had a talk about the application. Now I'm losing the name of
Pay
it.
quicker
Uh,
or
well,
hustle?
I need to get into my Pay Quicker account, and I'm not able to yet, and I need to figure that one out. That's a real key, part of this because the plan is I'm planning to make good money.
Right. So
From
we can talk about that, but were
so,
you talking about the hustle app then?
yes, I want to know about the Hustle app. What is the difference there between the Hustle app, the Hustle CRM, and the boards? Is there a difference there?
Yeah, the hustle, great question. Steven's question is, what's the difference between the hustle CRM and boards? The hustle CRM is provided for by the company. If you're not on monthly auto ship, then you have to pay for the hustle app. If you're on a monthly order of your product from Sealy, the company pays for the hustle app. They're paying somewhere around $5 to $6 for every single member to be able
Wow.
to have that activated for them. And the sad part is most people aren't taking advantage of all the great tools that are in there. So that is a company app to help build your business that's applied for through the company. The boards is something that we set up for our team to help give tools to help build their business. It aligns with the way we teach and build our teams in Sealy. So it's not part of the company. This is part of what Guy and Elka have set up for our team to have access to.
Excellent. I think that's really awesome. That helped me know more about the Hustle CRM because CRM is, a management software. And so that's really exciting. Thank you very much for answering that question. I really appreciate that, Guy. Thank you.
Absolutely, Stephen. And we'll get together and figure this pay quicker thing out, okay?
Yeah, that sounds good too.
All
And
right.
then for whatever reason, I got on boards this morning, I believe it was, and I've got the link for the boards that you provided. And so I click on that, and then I wanted to go into the, open an app, and it might have been in the computer or something, but it just spun around forever and didn't get there. Uh,
Okay. Well, Stephen, we can talk about that because this is about something else. So we can talk about
yeah,
that offline. I want to get to Danya because Danya also had a point here in the chats. And so I'm gonna go ahead and move along if that's okay with you. And we
absolutely.
can definitely talk offline on that, okay?
That sounds really good. Thank you so
All
very
right,
much. I
Stephen.
really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. So Donnie has in the chats here, I just noticed this. How do you suggest that people understand they have to get through the no's to get to the next yes? Don't focus on the people who are not showing you they are not really interested and you're hoping on maybe. Drip on them and push past that to get to the other people who are looking for what you have. What do you have to say to yourself or do to understand that and get the butt out of the way? It's a great, great question. Um, Here's the thing. Again, we go back to that whole thing about exposures and making goals manageable and helping people understand up front, not everybody's going to want to what you have. Not everybody goes shopping at REI. All right. If you don't know what REI is, it's an outdoor recreational for people that like hiking and camping and outdoor sports. Well, if you're not into that, you probably could care less whether REI existed or not. But REI does a tremendous amount of business because they attract the people that are looking for what they have. And that's true for any product or service. All right. Some people are really into art. And so they follow everything to do with art. That's not a big interest for me. All right. So I'm probably not going and looking for the best art store every single day of the week, right? Some people don't like to read. So they're not looking for a book. All right. But those that maybe align with personal growth will pick up a copy of Think and Grow Rich. Look, this is one of the biggest selling books throughout the world over time. So there's a lot of people that want it. But if I go out, I took a or a stack of 10 of these and I just go out into the local community and it goes, hey, have you ever read this book? Would you like to read this book? Oh, I could care less about that book. Helping people understand not everybody's going to want to do this business. And not everybody's going to want to have a part of what you do. Not everybody's going to want to have better health. It's part of that managing expectations right up front. And you got to be mindful about this because at the same point, you're not telling the person that this doesn't work. You're not telling this person that they're going to get no's, but you want to help them understand that the possibility of getting no's is there. And that maybe use an example like I just explained. That not everybody's looking to improve their health. Not everybody is looking to improve their wealth or willing to do what it takes. And when you get into the deeper part of your question, is when you're talking about this business, we're looking for people that are desiring a change. Look, there are thousands of people every single day out there on the internet searching for a network marketing company to join. What if they were asking you that question? Would your belief uh, go down or would it go up? All right. If you had 1,000 people coming at you, looking at your business and hey, how do I get started with you? All right. Because there's people out there doing that, thousands upon thousands on internet searches, platforms, trying to find the network marketing company that's going to fit for them. If you're not exposing, how are you going to find those thousands of people? Not everybody's out there searching for the next best company or to get into network marketing, but there's thousands upon thousands that are. So when somebody getting this, oh, another part of this, Danya, this is why being in touch with your new people on a daily basis is so important. So they just got started. You tell them to go call 10 people. If you're not following up with them in between those calls, then, and they're getting all no's, they're going to say this doesn't work. So if I have a person that has never done anything like this before, I'll say, okay, Maybe we make the first several calls together. Or after your first three calls, give me an update on how it's going. Maybe they got three yeses. Maybe they got three nos. Now I can have that conversation with them. Hey, well, we're looking for the hungry. We're looking for the ambitious. We're not looking for everybody. We're looking for somebody that wants to find two people that's doing the same thing you're doing, right? And get on with that duplication. Donnie, if you want to unmute yourself, I'll allow you to unmute. And if you want to, if that answered your question, didn't answer your question, if you want to go in more detail, I'm more than happy to. Okay. So she may have, oh, oh,
No, that's why I didn't want to unmute.
we got
Let
feedback.
me
Okay.
see. Yep, got issues.
Okay. So I guess she's got the feedback in there. But anyhow, that's kind of my philosophy on it. It goes, it's the same thing over and over and over again. Managing expectations, helping a person that's brand new to this, not understanding what they're really getting into as far as contacting, inviting to understand the process and to help them understand that, yeah, you got five no's in a row, but maybe the next five will be a yes. And that's also why before they start calling anybody or contacting anybody, that they have a very large list, 50 to 100 names minimum. So that when you have that follow up call with them, hey, I just got three, five no's in a row, that we can adjust. And now they still have plenty of people to call. If they're starting out with 10 names on the list and they go through five, burn five right off the bat before we have a follow on conversation, they only got five to go. Now they're getting desperate. And that comes across over the phone as well, or even in text messages. So that's a very involved a whole training in itself, how to mentor somebody to do these calls, to make the calls, to understand, yeah, rejection is probably the number one thing that takes people out of this business. Because why? It kills the belief. And if you don't have belief, you can't build this business. Belief comes from knowing what you're doing is helping other people, period. Whether you're helping them make money, whether you're helping them with their health, whether you're making yourself money. I mean, I say this all the time to people that are like, well, I don't know, I kind of like, because they've kind of disappeared. You call them up, going, hey, man, John Smith, where did you go? Right? What's going on in your life? Oh, I got this and this and that. I guarantee you, if that John Smith had $10,000 a month coming through his Sealy business, his belief would be pretty high and he probably wouldn't have gone anywhere. So if you help making people make money any way you can in that first week, 2 weeks, and make that second week bigger than the first week check, that's going to help build their belief as well. All right. So anybody else have a question? Feel free to raise your hand. If not, we've been here at an hour. I really appreciate everybody that's been able to show up. Anita, I see you on here as well as Mike. So appreciate that. And Stephen for asking that question and Danya as well. So, with that being said, I guess we'll close this out. This will be recorded, and thank you, Tom, for that as well, and all the other accolades. I appreciate that from each of you. So, wishing you all a great and wonderful day. And let's go out there and make it a great year. Set your DMOs, set your goals, your DMOs, and then hold yourself accountable to those DMOs. Wishing you all a great and wonderful week. And I will be doing the Sunday night webinar tomorrow night. We also have a product call Tuesday night, the 7th of January. We're going to be doing our protocol on Tuesday night. So you got a great chance to take all this information, put it into action, and start inviting for that call. We'll get the flyer out here real soon. Okay. Wish you all a great day. Bye bye.